Hi everyone, it's Jeannie, and I'm back today to share a fun Slimline shaker card featuring Penguin Palace's Birthday Unicorn stamp set, and I'm using a few of the Trinity stamps Slimline die collection. So I trimmed out a panel that would fit the slimline shape, and I wanted to create my own background. I used some of the confetti images from the Penguin Palace Birthday Unicorn set. This is a set that I have in my collection and I've used for multiple cards, but I wanted to do a slimline shaker card that was just really fun. And so I decided that what better way to use these little pieces of confetti than to create a full background using all the tiny little pieces and not color them. So once I have that panel ready, I'm going to ink blend using Ink on 3's Atelier inks. I'm using Marilyn Red, Marigold Orange, and Bee Sting Yellow. The names are super fun. And I'm using this on Nina Solar 80-pound cardstock. And normally for all ink blending, I tend to prefer Bristol Smooth cardstock, but using the Altier inks, I really like it on Nina Solar because it looks a lot more brighter. Sometimes I find that the Bristol Smooth it takes because of the smooth surface, the inks kind of sit on top and it doesn't really absorb into the paper as quickly and it doesn't look super vibrant. It has more of a soft look, which I like, but I've been gotten to use more of the Nina cardstock for ink blending because I think that it's just more vibrant. I don't know if it's just me, but that's how I feel and it looks good and they blend really well, especially with these inks. I don't have as much trouble, but I do like the vibrancy to the colors, so I wanted to add more and more. Of course, when blending red and yellow, they make orange. So I don't really need the marigold orange, but I just really wanted it in there just to add a bit more brightness and more richness to the orange color. So I'm adding that in here and there. And for the blending, I'm just using my blending tool with some domed foam applicators. Because these inks are also water reactive, I'm splattering a bit of water on it just to give it a bit of texture, and I pick it up using a microfiber towel. So it's very subtle, but I like the look. Here I'm going to use the scalloped card panel die from Trinity Stamps along with the stitch card panels and windows from Trinity Stamps as well. And these windows will create my shaker windows. And I love how they're connected, so I will have perfect placement every single time. Now to the images. I'm stamping out the 3 unicorn images in this stamp set and coloring them up using Copic markers. All the colors that I will be using are listed down below. I'm also thinking that I might put together a list of my favorite Copic color combos because I tend to use the same colors, and honestly, my Copic collection isn't very large. I find combinations of colors that I really like and I always use them. So if you've watched my videos or ever looked at the colors that I use for my cards, a lot of the time it's the same Copic colors. And I know that I do want to bring in different shades of certain colors, and I've been slowly adding to my collection because let's be honest, these markers are super expensive. The refills aren't out yet. They're being released sometime in the summer, and some of them are drying up, and I don't have refills for all of them, so I haven't been able to pull in new colors. But I do feel comfortable with a lot of the combos that I already use, and it's just something that I will gravitate to when coloring. So I have some of my favorites for blues, greens, purples, pinks, and reds that I always use. And so I think I might put together a blog post or something like that that just lists out the different combos I like to use. Some are pretty basic. They're numbers that are really close to each other on the Copic coloring chart. And some are a little bit different because, like with yellows, you kind of have to bring in other colors to get the dimension you need. So if you're interested, I hopefully will be able to put this together for you soon, and hopefully the refills for the Copics will be coming out soon. I heard it was summertime. I did see that some stores already have them in stock, but I haven't shopped yet because I'm just trying to figure out what I really need and the colors that I do want to build my collection. But the refills are so useful because it makes these markers really worth it. And I do use other mediums, but currently right now I really like using the Copic markers because it's just something I'm comfortable with, and it's just already have these combos that I like, and I just know exactly what I'm gonna get when I use them. But I am experimenting with some ideas and other mediums, and so hopefully I'll be able to show them to you guys. I do want to create more videos. I've realized that while I'm working at home, I have a little bit more time that I'm saving from the commute. I'm not usually, it takes me at least 2 hours out of my day to commute back and forth from work, and I'm kind of saving that time up, and I want to be more productive because I'm getting into the mindset of being used to working from home and kind of just lounging and just being on my phone. So my screen time during this shelter in place, working from home period has increased dramatically, and it's something that I'm really trying to bring down. And I rather spend that time crafting than being on my phone and just scrolling. I don't know if that's something you guys are experiencing as well, but for me, that's what's happening. So I have coordinating dies for these images, so I just will cut them out really quick using my Gemini, and I will get them ready for this shaker card. It's a pretty simple shaker card. I have all these windows that are ready from the die set, and I'm gonna go grab a piece of acetate too to put behind this panel. Of course, with a shaker, you need acetate to hold in all those little shaker bits. For this particular card, I already have a card base, and I'll be attaching this card panel directly onto the card base because I won't be, putting it on a card base or another card panel and then putting on another card base again. So for shakers, I like to glue down the windows so everything is already set and everything will line up perfectly. So the windows for the shaker are already adhered directly onto the card base, and then I'm just gluing the acetate onto the card panel. And I like to use this really strong acetate. I find that it works really well. It also isn't as staticky as my thinner acetate. So I really do recommend this acetate. I will use my anti-static powder tool just in case because I am using fine bits of glitter and little stars that are super tiny, so I don't want that staticiness happening. So for the card panel, I'm going to glue it down to my glass mat. I'm adding the anti-static powder tool everywhere, and I have these jars of glittery little bits from Michaels that I just have in my collection that are endless and I want to use them up. So I grab a few of those. It's just stars in different colors, and then I have this huge jar of glitter that I just want to add. And I find that sometimes with my shaker cards, I am so stingy with the bits. But when it comes to glitter and these Michael jars that I have, I will be super generous because I'm trying to use them up. This is one of the things I've been trying to do for a long time, is just to use all the items that I have in my collection and actually use them up. Hopefully, but this jar just seems endless. So I am only using one layer of foam here for this card because these bits are so tiny and thin that I don't need a double layer, and I adhere it directly to the card. I will go ahead and adhere the unicorn images directly to the card panel on top of the acetate windows, and I am almost done. I just stamp out the sentiment. I wasn't sure which ones I wanted to use, if I wanted to use all of them, but I ended up using the wishing you a very happy birthday. I will split that in half. That actually comes together, and I will just trim it out, add the wishing you a very right on the top of the card panel and the happy birthday at the bottom. So this card was pretty easy to put together. I think that the die set really helps because it creates those windows for you. Toss on 3 images, throw in some shaker bits, and add a sentiment, and you're done. So hopefully you enjoyed this card, and I hope you have a great day, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.